Biden's first year in power has proved that he is a failure on all fronts, be it law and order, diplomacy, or economic policy. But his most spectacular debacle is in the oil and gas industry, so much so that his policies are going to make Russia more powerful at America's expense. Stay tuned to know how. Hi and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Tejasvi Malhotra, and in this video I will elaborate on why Joe Biden stepped back from sanctioning Russian oil and gas after vouching to end the Russian dominance through sanctions. Let's begin. As Russian tanks rolled into Kyiv, the US and other Western powers prepared themselves to roll out a fresh package of sanctions against Moscow. Biden's sanctions aimed at blocking the supply of high-tech goods to the Russian military. They also tried to target big Russian banks, corporations, and wealthy Russians considered close to President Vladimir Putin. But guess what has not been targeted? Russian oil and gas. Yes, the main source of Russian revenue remains exempted from sanctions. And frankly, Biden couldn't have sanctioned Russian energy during his first year in power. After all, the incumbent US president has simply lost all possible leverage in the energy sector. Let us explore how it happened.
Hey, it's me, Atul. I started this channel. We started small, we went big. Suddenly, the Whitey police was after us. We dodged and ducked, but the algos got us really bad. So we designed our own app. It's free. We never asked for money, we never will. But the droid called us too sensitive and blocked us. We still have an Apple app. Join us and fast, because if you don't, we will cease to exist. Check out the link in the description.
Biden's decision to not hit the Russian energy sector is a huge gift for Vladimir Putin. Isolated by the West since the Crimea annexation in 2014, Russia has virtually become a two-sector economy dependent heavily on defense and energy exports. Energy exports in particular are crucial to the Russian economy. Overall, in Russia, oil and gas make up 39% of the federal budget revenue. They also accounted for 60% of the Russian exports in 2019. Fossil fuels accounted for 14% of the Russian GDP in 2019. So the condition for Russia to be rich or poor depends entirely upon its energy sector. If energy prices are high and Russian oil and gas exports go up, Russia becomes rich. Otherwise, it gets poor. And guessing from the current scenario, Biden is making Russia rich. US Deputy National Security Advisor Dalip Singh has made it clear that the Biden administration has no plans to cut Russian profits in the energy sector. Singh said, "Our sanctions are not designed to cause any disruption to the current flow of energy from Russia to the world. It is just a good excuse for Biden to say, 'I didn't want to disrupt energy from Russia.' It isn't as if Biden could have sanctioned Russian energy, but he didn't. The fact remains that he couldn't have targeted Russian oil and gas. With political support with green vigilantes, Biden had suspended new drilling leases on federal lands shortly after assuming office last year. With prudent policy measures, Trump once turned the US into a net energy exporter. But with Biden's environmental regulation, taxes, and outright bans on drilling have made it a net importer all over again. It was again Biden who shut down the Keystone XL pipeline that was supposed to transport 830,000 barrels at the peak capacity. And today, the US imports 6 lakh barrels of oil from Russia. So Biden has put the US in a fix. If it doesn't sanction Russian energy, Russia becomes more powerful. If it does sanction Russian energy, then rising pump prices in the US go up even further. And it is not just a question of United States. Biden has created a problem for Europe too. Europe depends on Russia for about 40% of its gas supplies. Following the Russian invasion into Ukraine, international crude oil prices have already crossed a whopping $100 per barrel. Natural gas prices too jumped to 105.6 euros a megawatt hour on the TTF exchange in the Netherlands. And guess what? Europe has no option but to buy expensive Russian gas. Biden had tried to get Qatar, Algeria and other countries to provide gas supplies to Europe when Russia-Ukraine tensions were spiraling up. But Qatar and other gas exporting countries have said that they will not be able to supply substantial amounts of replacement gas if sanctions against Russia do create gas shortages in Western Europe. The US itself is dependent on Russian energy and it cannot be expected to bail out Western Europe. This puts the entire Western world at mercy of Russian energy supplies. Biden's sanctions on Russia are very tough. They are so tough that they will help Russia grow richer twice as fast.